was a lie, you meta losers. How the hell are ya? Before we get into the video, and today's build, allow me to show you a terrible Khora first. What you are observing is a magnetic spider lady build. Not that it matters, but I happen to be using the monotone fuzz simply because they have electricity damage built in, which combined with cold makes magnetic and overall a higher damage output. Now some of you may know this already, but magnetic is one of the most useless damage types against Grenier you can possibly imagine. And yet, as you can see, this build is still killing Steel Path Grenier pretty good. Also notice how I am intentionally not priming the enemies with viral damage either. When I add that into the mix, the results are these. Okay, cool, but why am I telling you this? I am telling you because I want your puny brains to understand that Khora is by default one powerful motherfucker, and it does not matter what type of stat stick you use for her, she will get the job done regardless. So I encourage you to experiment and be creative and have fun with your builds. That being said, let's get into my insane gas build. With my build you will hit up to 5 million gas damage procs that one-shot everything. Hell, I even one-shot that bitch boy Malice on stream the other day. Here is the thought process and how it works. So Khora's Sax Toy Whip, deals AoE damage on the targeted area, much like an explosion, right? Gas also deals AoE damage, so I figured I would try it out and push it into extremes and see what happens. And the results are satisfying as hell. Up to 5 million orange gas crits and sound effects that will sensually serenade your eardrums. For this build, I use the Lesion specifically. The Lesion has a built-in mechanic that grants you 100% extra attacks and damage upon landing a proc, which will happen constantly. Now this means that you essentially gain 1 extra invisible mat slot for 100% damage, which is sexy as hell, let me tell ya. The Lesion, like any other stat stick you choose, should be built something like this. If you happen to be a filthy gloom wukong and insist on red cringe, then just move this mod to here and add Sacrificial Steel instead. This way, you will get random blast procs along with gas, but that is okay. You also gain a 100% chance of being a weirdo and the right to wear a tinfoil hat. Otherwise, here is how the build works. Ensnare a group of enemies before you whip them. Make sure you build up a combo counter for maximum potential as well, hitting enemies with the Lesion a few times first until you see this symbol. This means the Lesion's damage boost has been activated. And then whip the crowd of enemies and enjoy the fireworks of blood, guts and glory. That's it. Super easy build with no extra requirements. Now if you want to go a little deeper into min-maxing, then slap accumulating whip claw onto your Khora. Give her a high power strength too, and if you do not mind spending an extra form just to be a savage, then install Steel Charge as an aura. Next you will want to drop Arcane Fury on your Khora. This arcane will give you a 60% chance to increase melee damage by 180% upon critical hitting for a generous amount of time, so essentially forever. Next step even further is for you to use a primer secondary. The most popular one is the Kuva Nukor, but you can basically use anything that hits a lot of enemies very often very fast. Make sure the primer of your choice has viral on it. The goal here is to max out viral stacks on the enemies before whipping them. 10 stacks of viral is the max and will buff all incoming damage. At this point you've almost reached the limit of what you can do for this gas build, unless you happen to be a helmet enthusiast. I hate the helmet system personally, but I was curious and tried some shit. Rhino Roar, Empower, Breach Surge and Eclipse are some great options for you to subsume. I used Breach Surge and enjoyed that the most. Nothing will survive this, and it is also by far the easiest to handle in this active build. Replacing Khora's 4th ability for Breach Surge is a no-brainer, since you still get crowd control, but instead of a damage penalty, you get another damage buff. This is the result. Give this nutty build a try right now or wait for Khora Prime and let me know how you liked it. If you'd like to see this live on stream, then come hang out with my stupid human host every Thursday, Friday and Saturday on Twitch, or Sundays right here on YouTube. Again, I encourage you weasels to try whatever you think could be interesting and enjoyable. You do not need meta trash at any point in the game. Now go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button. Don't be a gloom wukong. Okay, now fuck off.